Okay. Checking mechanical part of the exhaust gas recirculation cooler bypass valve. So this is the vacuum unit. So how we are going to check it? We are going to remove this vacuum hose, this one, and connect the vacuum pressure pump to it, and then apply vacuum to it, and then watch the movement of this bar while we have applied a vacuum to the unit. So as you can see here, pull vacuum hose off vacuum unit and connect hand vacuum pump. Operate hand vacuum pump to create a vacuum. The linkage of the changeover for the exhaust gas recirculation cooler must move arrows. If linkage does not move or only moves in jerks, vacuum actuator is defective. Changeover flap for exhaust gas recirculation is tight. So fit heat insulation. Okay. While you have finished with the test or the test procedure, you must install the heat insulation sleeve in its original position, as it says here, heat insulation sleeve in the original position when installing. So we are going to apply vacuum here, and then watch movement of this bar, and then as you saw here, if it didn't move inward or just start to jerking while moving inward and it's faulty, then that has to be replaced. Okay, now I'm going to disconnect the vacuum hose from the vacuum unit. I have disconnected the vacuum hose from the vacuum unit, and now I'm going to connect the vacuum pump pressure, the vacuum and pressure pump. Okay, as you can see, I have connected this hose to the vacuum unit, this hose connected to the vacuum unit, and now I'm going to apply the vacuum, and you watch the movement of the bar connected to the vacuum unit and the EGR valve, bypass valve. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to apply vacuum to the vacuum unit, and you watch. As you can see, vacuum is not increasing while I am applying pump. See, and also the bar is not moving at all. It means that the vacuum unit is leaking, and it's not holding vacuum to pull the vacuum unit bar or the bypass valve bar inward. So as you can see here, Let me hold like this. It's very difficult to hold. So, as you can see, I'm applying vacuum to the, and you see there. It's very, very difficult. Okay, you watch the bar. It's not holding any vacuum at all. The unit is leaking. So this is the mechanical side of the EGR valve, bypass valve failure. Okay, as you can see, I have removed the faulty EGR cooler, and this is integrated with the EGR actuator or EGR valve actuator, and also with the EGR cooler bypass valve. So I'm not sure whether you had seen on the previous video when I was testing the EGR cooler bypass valve while the EGR cooler was installed on the car. So now I have removed the EGR valve, the EGR cooler, and now I'm going to show you the testing procedure and also show you how the EGR cooler bypass valve is faulty. So now I have connected the vacuum pump to the vacuum unit here, and I'm going to apply vacuum to the vacuum unit and see if the bar moves inward this way toward the vacuum unit. So as you can see, the unit I'm applying vacuum to it, but as you can see, the unit is leaking and also the bar is not moving at all. So it's not holding the vacuum at all. Now I have received the new one, genuine Volkswagen part, and now I'm going to test that and see the comparison of both of two. That's one, this one which is faulty, and the other one which is brand new, and see the operation. Okay, this is the brand new original part or genuine part from Volkswagen. So it's installed like this in this direction, and the coolant flows through this hose, this metal pipe, and comes here. So the coolant is blocked by this. It's called the EGR bypass valve. So for as long as the engine temperature is below 37 degrees of Celsius, so this vacuum unit is activated. So the vacuum is applied by the vacuum control solenoid, which is located on top of the engine, as I showed you yesterday. So this bar moves moves towards the inward of the vacuum unit, so this way, and so that keeps blocking the coolant flow or the coolant the coolant circulation. So as soon as the engine temperature reaches above 37 degrees of Celsius, so this is no longer activated, or the vacuum is not applied by the vacuum control solenoid. So the bar moves outward and the passage is open to the coolant and to circulate through this hose, and keeps the exhaust gases cool. Now I'm going to apply vacuum here, and you watch the so I have connected vacuum. Yeah, as you can see, so you watch here, as soon as I apply the vacuum, and then this bar starts to move inward. See, it's moving inward. So vacuum is approximately 15 H of mercury, and the bar is moved inward. So now the coolant passage is blocked. The coolant is not circulating through the system. So now the engine temperature is below 37. So as soon as the engine temperature reaches above 37 degrees of Celsius, degrees Celsius, so the vacuum control solenoid de-energized by the ECU, and so the vacuum drops to zero, and this passage is open to the coolant to circulate in the system. Once again, so up, so watch. So I apply the lock, and the bar is moved inward. I release the vacuum, and bar has moved outward again. The other one was not working the same way as this one. So now I'm going to install the new EGR valve, the EGR cooler. So there are 4 screws, one here, and one here, one here, one here. So these 3 are 1, 2, 3 are easy to remove, but for this one you need to dismount the diesel particulate filter from the turbo and move that little bit backward, and then you will have access to remove this one as well, or install this one as well. So there are there are 2 pipes connected to this one. This one from the inlet, from the exhaust manifold, and this one back to the inlet manifold, and gases flow to the inlet manifold, or the back to the engine to burn out again.